So once again, thank you so much to those of you that have joined us so far as we, I appreciate our talk about Day. So I am talking about the 17 SDG goals of the United Nations. It is coming up to 15 minutes past 4 a.m. London, England, United Kingdom, where I am currently based. And here we are back on the Facebook. So my hotspot now will reduce and the Wi-Fi picks up the transmission. It's fine. So let me come back here. Once again, good morning to those that are still with me. Good morning to those of you on the Twitter as well. An appreciation to you all for listening to us all the time. So, most of Nipa, Nigeria and the Yoruba nation sovereignty. Mr. Lamirewaji, good morning. So I'm going to stop the good morning, so that we can focus and go back into the conversation. So, the number 2 SDG goal, the number 2 SDG goal is end hunger, AB, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Let's explain that a little bit further. Even the government presently today have declared food, is it emergency or whatever? Yeah, Nigeria food security. There's now food security because any country that doesn't have security, Nigeria declare state of emergency on food security. That is the SDG goal number 2. I'm reading now from the VOA news, and I'll share that with us as I have it here. It says Nigerian authorities declare state of emergency on food security. It is necessary. It is important because presently no one can feed themselves anymore. Not that we don't have the land, Anile, but what we are facing is the terrorism that have taken over our land. So terrorism have taken over. Oh, I didn't even remember that 3 years ago, yesterday, was Tolulokpa Rotile. I don't know, I forgot that. I'm sure. Emma Binupe more divert there because she's dead. We give her the honor. No, she actually died on the 14th. Mabashi not teacher. Tolulokwe died on the 14th of July 2020. 3 years is gone. That is the Nigeria. That is the country called Nigeria. Sorry, I can't bring anybody in. It's too early hours in the morning, and I don't want the voice to go more control voicing because people are sleeping upstairs. So maybe some other time, bear with me, but not this morning. So maybe some other time. Let us just listen. Tolulokpe was only 24 years old when she was killed by the failed nation called Nigeria. The first helicopter combat pilot. Oh yeah, definitely you have opportunity to talk. We're still getting to use with the TikTok. We're new to that. I know people bring people in to talk and all that. There will be a lot of interactive. Am I worried? can assure you that. The most important thing is that we are on it now, and I've dedicated a particular phone for the TikTok. So am I worried? So Tolulope is a flying officer, and life was ended in the contraction country you call Nigeria. I'm sure Tolulope had a dream, just like many Nigerians still have the dream. Should we blame her for having believed in Nigeria? No. My parents believe in Nigeria. My mom told me that after the death of my father, and then the last order after that, or before that rather, before my father died in 1980, my mom's last order was $60,000. Ọjà tó rà pẹ̀lú Filtex. I'm sure àwọn tó bá ń taṣọ àbáwọn tó ń raṣọ wọ́n mọ ẹni tí mò ń sọ yẹn lára àwọn company tí mo sì mi náà máa ń bá rajà nìyẹn. Filtex, $60,000 in 1980. I'm sure you know what that means in today's currency. That is a lot of money. Kí wọ́n ní $60,000. Not over politics, not over politician as we are saying today. These are what our parents are known for, hard working. And within that context, like I was explaining, it is only now that I know that some people say, Koiki, you repeat the same thing all the time. It's because our people to Ambassador, we got to continue to repeat it. You know, continue make a feedback and we only repeat the same thing all the time. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just to get the clarity of importance of our yawa. Because if not, they will not. Okay, Mighty, good morning. Mrs. Taiwo Kike, good morning. It is only here that you will not go to your neighbor and ask for salt. It's either you eat that food without a salt, or you pop onto the high street and buy the salt. And that again takes us back into, once again, welcome back those of you on the Facebook. Emma Binu, Olanikbekon, good morning. We lost the transmission due to some update. Mokimomiwa Sarah Oyelowo, Mokimomiwa Oyebumino, and the rest of you that were there before the transmission cut out. Emma Binu, Lato Domini, Konjibewa flag or anything. I don't even believe in all that anyway, because our caller network down low, so they can do anything they want at any time. They've restricted our message. I know that. Nobody needs to tell me that, because we have a huge followership on Facebook, but Facebook continue to pin it down so that the message doesn't travel. They said we have violated some of their community rules and all that, which is understandable, but that's not going to stop me talking. Even if they close all my platform, I can do videos and upload it, and people will upload it on my behalf. We're still talking about number 2. And the number 2, Kolon Foriji, Tolulokwarutile, Kolon Foriji, the 29,000 Yoruba people that have died in the last 8 years of the sadist called Muhammadu Buhari, dead or alive, anyway, doesn't make any difference to me. Food security, Monsonipa, food security. Food security is very, very important. But do you know that deliberately some people within and outside Nigeria created the monster that could not allow you to have food? So today your government have decided to declare state of emergency. How Tinubu is going to do that? Okay, Tolulope would have been 27 years today if she was alive. That is the kind of career Timon's in the UK. To buy Tolulope in the UK, even if she's going, Monso ni surgeon kan lenkan can finish area yẹn. Mommy me kolon ṣàlàyé fún mi ní àná. Mo fi go into area bi tẹ́ni yawa so that kí má expose too much. She is a surgeon, one of my Jebuni. Gbogbo kó ṣe the UK kò tí pẹ́. Ó máa ń book ẹ̀ láti inú ilé ẹ̀ kó wá ṣe operation fún àwọn èèyàn hospital. Wọ́n ní tó bá dúró tí woman yẹn rí ni kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún wọn. because woman yẹn wà àwọn obìnrin ni wọ́n máa operate, àwọn obìnrin bí atọ́ ní issue pẹ̀lú pé wọ́n fi bímọ, wọn náà máa ń bùkẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó dé lùi ó ti ra ilé ẹyọ kan èyí tó lè ṣe ní Nàìjíríà. So we've lost one person that is meant to be a surgeon in Nigeria láti máa bá wọn àgbà ẹbí àwọn ọmọ abẹni tó fẹ́ bímọ tó ní issue àwọn obìnrin internally. Ẹni yẹn ti wà ní UK, wọ́n ní UK tó ti dé tó ti pé 1 year or probably 2 years or so, I don't know, I think kò ti pé 2 years gan, ó ti ra ilé. Kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n sọ fún woman yẹn wà nínú tíátà pẹ̀lú wọn ni, wọ́n náà wọn òyìnbó tó dúró tì lẹ́yìn nígbà tó bá fẹ́ operate. Àwọn sọ fún pé ẹni tó fẹ́ operate yẹn àwọn làwọn dúró fún bí ẹni bí màmá ìyẹn woman náà nílùú yìí àbọ̀bìnrin náà làwọn fi méjì arákùnrin yẹn, wọ́n náà mọ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú ni, wọ́n máa ń pè, wọ́n máa búkẹ́ láti inú ilé ẹ̀ ní àti sọ́jọ́, wọ́n náà àwọn òyìnbó tó tó sí. So wọ́n wá ń sọ so many things tó rí nínú tíátà yẹn pé ìlú yìí no, though they have their own issues but they will still make sure that àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé ikú Ọlọ́run nìkan ló máa pa ẹ́, UK will go to any length so that you don't die. It might not be as it used to be even some 30 years ago. Fáwọn parents wa kan tó bímọ síbi ibà lọ́spítù ló Martin Hospital, Chase Farm Hospital, North Middlesex, Queens and all that. Things have also changed and kò ju pé torí èrò ti pọ̀ ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ, so stress náà ti wà lórí NHS, but notwithstanding they are still going to take care of you whether oníwèé oníwèé. Àìmọye lómi tó kọ́ra wọlé àìsàn kan ló ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ ìyá kẹlẹ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. This young man tó sọ yìí wọ́n ní tó bá nígbà nínú tíátà táwọn rí yẹn, wọ́n nígbà táwọn sọ fún pé ọmọ àwọn ní arábìnrin yẹn kò jọ ẹ̀mọ̀ bá bàbá ṣe máa ń ṣe kò jọ pé kó má jẹ́ kí oníkéni ó náà ti ṣe more than 10 or something lẹ́ni already. Ó ti di some of you are probably still shocked that bọ̀bọ̀ yóò ti sùn ni. It's built in. Ìyàwó mi mà kò mọ̀ ti sọ̀kalẹ̀ bí a ní sí that's why I don't want to raise too much voice bí a kọ́ máa fọ pé bàbá yóò ti tún ti dìde. It's built in. Tí bá ń lọ síbi iṣẹ́ nísìnyí ṣe mọ̀ ní dìde ni. Tó bá yẹ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ resume ní 5 o'clock time tí máa dìde náà ni mo dìde kò mo ṣáà gbọ́dọ̀ wẹ̀ tí n bá tẹ̀lé jẹun kúrò mo dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ because torí pé ilẹ̀ ti ṣú tí n bá dẹ̀ drive mo gbọ́dọ̀ mọ night bus tí mo fi mọ. Why am I explaining all this? Because normal life tó yẹ kẹ́ máa gbé náà lélẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan kan tó special if the system have been built to work. Ìdí tí ẹ ṣe ń suffer ni pé tí hunger ṣe wà fruit okay ẹlòmíì ní farm kékeré tí yẹ fún, ẹlòmíì ra ilẹ̀ yìí ni, ẹlòmíì jogún ẹ̀ ni. Kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe farming? Kí ló dé tí ẹ lè lọ sóko láti lọ dá oko so that kí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fi jẹ yẹn kó lè fún yín ní nutrition, balanced diet? Is because the agenda is to make sure that Southwest will grow oúnjẹ bọ̀kọ́ máa kó oúnjẹ wá láti òkè ọya. Why must we wait for àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lókè ọya àwọn nìkan wá fún wa ní oúnjẹ? Tábà tí rí tòmátò Haúsá ẹlòmíì kan tó máa ń lọ sọ́jà tó bá rí lọ́dọ̀ Yorùbá ṣé tòmátò àwọn málà lélẹ̀? Why must it be tòmátò málà? Kí ló dé táwa náà lè? And we are doing it because as àárẹ̀ àwọn àlùkà níjọ́ kan tó lọ sí mọ̀mọ́bí tó lọ tó show basket of tomatoes. Ó yẹ kó ń jẹ́ surplus káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni torí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló jà ológun sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú àwọn tó kù, but nítorí pé agenda kan wà wò fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ rí oúnjẹ jẹ. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ ti rí oúnjẹ jẹ automatically ẹni tó bá ti lóúnjẹ jẹ, you automatically become a species tó fẹ́ jẹ̀yàn. Màá ṣàlàyé fún ẹ. O jí láàárọ̀ yìí nísìn, o jẹun àárọ̀, o jẹ tọ̀sán, o jẹ ká tó máa fi dálẹ̀, anything ló máa jẹ. Kódà o lè jí anything láti fẹ́ fi jẹun, because oúnjẹ ṣe pàtàkì nígbésí ayé ènìyàn. Oúnjẹ tẹ́ bá tẹ̀ ń ṣe àwẹ̀ ìjọ mẹ́fà, ìjọ méje, tẹ́ bá máa fi sọ̀kalẹ̀, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹun, even if it's water. Ìgbà mi wọ́n lè ní àwẹ̀ funfun, ẹ má fi yọ̀ sóúnjẹ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀. I'm sure àwọn tó jẹ́ that religion understand nǹkan tí mo mean, but bẹ́ẹ̀ gbàgbà 40 days náà gbọ́dọ̀ jẹun náà ni. Ó kọ́ yẹ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa jẹun yẹn, intake yẹn kò gbọ́dọ̀ fast ju bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ti fi sílẹ̀ lọ with the last 40 days. Àṣà ń gbọ́ táwọn pastor ń sọ náà pé tó bá gbàwẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹun. Ìyẹn ok, ó fẹ́ gbàwẹ̀ for life tó ní máa jẹun, kò possible. You will not be able to sustain and you will not be able to live. So the SDG goal number 2, after that, so number 1 we call end the poverty. Nigeria cannot end poverty within the next 4 years. Though we know that government is continuity, but do you think that they've really prepared or they are working towards ending poverty in Nigeria? I don't think so. It is not a sovereignty. It is a multiple of nations put together. And before we go away from number 2, maybe I should tell you the full meaning of sovereignty. Sovereignty, according to the English Oxford Dictionary, is a supreme power or authority. That is what the Yoruba people are asking for. Supreme power. So that we can be able to have the total control. Èyí tí a ní nísìn tí gbogbo wa tá ń rí bẹ́ni tó jọ wá, which is the current government, kò ń ṣe total control. It is only a limited timing ló wà lára ẹ̀. Tó bá yẹ pé government tó wà ń bẹ̀ nísìn, ó máa wà ń bẹ̀ tó bá tún ṣe tán ọmọ Yorùbá ló máa bọ́ sí, tó bá ṣe tán ọmọ Yorùbá ló máa bọ́ sí. Maybe we could even be say like, okay, we answer from Yoruba nation. Kashi ní sùúrù díẹ̀ náà. But torí pé a mọ̀ pé ó ní timing tó tún wá ní yẹn, by the time tóun bá ṣe gbogbo wàhálà yẹn tán, which he's trying to do in his own capacity anyway. Not that we are promoting it. I don't care, because at the end of the day, whatever he does, it will be destroyed by the North by the time they come back. That is the difference between a sovereignty. So your government presently right now is representing you under a very limited timing. Is going to put in all his efforts. He will try all his best. He will bring in experts, even corrupt people. They will be there. And like I always say to my wife, let them enjoy it now. The North have enjoyed it as well. But that will not remove Nigeria from the from the capital poverty of the world. Nigeria will still remain in that bracket, because the projection that we are seeing does not say that Nigeria will be removed in the next 4 years. And the reason for that is an average Nigeria cannot afford $2, which is one of these, $2, equivalent to 1,005, which is a little bit more anyway. Because dollar is about 800 naira, if not a little bit more. As at yesterday, pound sterling was 1,065. Tó bá fẹ́ ṣe padà wá sí UK is 1,070. Tí bá fẹ́ send naira láti lé wá síbí. And I'll give you what it is, because I get quotation all the time. So yesterday, if you send in, I just want to put this on my notepad as well. So yesterday was the 17. So let's start from here. To buy 200,000 naira land on in Nigeria. Take note of this. 200k. We always say 200k. That's the right what we use. Oma Fueni 187 pounds. Feniton Shekwadawa. 5 naira on top. But Feniton Sendi Losile is 1,065. So let me use my calculator and see what that comes up. So tell me about if Sendi that same 187 but again times 1,065. That gives me 199. So you've lost again about 195, 199, 155. So we'll lose about 1,000 naira lórí ẹ̀, because àwọn tó ń ṣòwò yẹn náà gbọ́dọ̀ jèrè. This is what we are facing, and we are still in the early stage of this government, and the naira already is stressed. And the reason to show us stressed ni pé agriculture sector tí àwọn tó lò ní regional government tá fi máa ń gbọ́ wọ́n kọ́ cocoa house, owó kòkó lọ́lò, àti lè ṣe yẹn in the last 24 years of this government. And when I say this government, I am not pointing to this particular government. I'm taking it to the PDP, which, well, they're all the same because they keep moving like, Ashewo, move out, blah, blah, blah. So in 24 years, I did perfect sustainable agriculture. Nítorí pé wọ́n dá terrorist sínú society tó ń penetrate gbogbo yín, tó ń deal pẹ̀lú yín directly. Ẹlòmíà ní èmi ò gbé ní ibi tó ti máa jí mi gbé, but you are already buying higher price in the foodstuff nínú ilé ẹ̀, whether in Lagos, in Oyo. Not everybody will be prone to ẹlòmíà travel money sin, so any security ó wà secured torí pé òun ní kọjá síbi tí terrorist máa ti jí òun gbé. But ó ti gbàgbé pé it's the same terrorist that is making your food price to go up, because if we have Betwe, Plateau State, that is being destroyed daily by the terrorists because they cannot provide sustainable agriculture according to the SDG goal number 2. Tó bá dé mọ̀ tán pè ní SDG goal, tó bá mọ̀ tán pè bẹ́ẹ̀, right? Let me explain that again to you. According to the United Nations, the United Nations Football for the Goal is a United Nations initiative that provides a platform for the global football community to engage with and advocate for the sustainable development goals. Tó bá tẹ̀ gbọ́ rítẹ́lẹ̀, at least ọmọ tán pè ní development. Many Nigerians is expecting that it will might develop. That was what they told my mom until my mom left. She was even explaining to me up to the exchange rate. Tí wọ́n nígbà tí pop sí mi kú táwọn padà wá sí UK, no, táwọn fẹ́ lọ gba ọjà wọn, dọ́là yẹn ó ti fluctuate. Futex, as at the time, àwọn méjèèjì láti jọ agree lórí rate táwọn fi fún ní deposit àwọn kó bá wọn ṣaṣọ, torí pé rate yẹn ti change ní dollar rate. Tó bá ta fún àwọn ní rate tó yí dollar jẹ́ nígbà yẹn, àwọn máa lose, òun náà máa lose. So they have to come into an agreement so that wọ́n lè gba ọjà wọn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, because Futex ó máa deposit owó fún kó tó ṣọjà fún ẹni. Báwọn mọ̀ sí tèmi ṣe operate nìyẹn. pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. And like I said, our last order ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ was $60,000 kó tó di pé popsi mi kú ní 1980. $60,000 in 1980. Do you think is a joke? So if we have enough foodstuff in Nigeria, we could have been doing what I call export of such. One share export, but not to the percentage of even surviving the forex. And the reason why you don't have dollar in Nigeria in terms of the this kilometer, you know, any dollar and any reserve. Can reserve a lot right? I think it's less than $50 billion anyway. Let me see. Nigeria reserve. Foreign reserve. Foreign. F-R-F-O-R. Yeah, Nigeria foreign reserve. Let's see what our foreign reserve is. Let's go to news. What a complete mess. According to the Daily Post, May 20, 2023, by Ogaga Aremu, Nigerian foreign reserve rise to $36 million. Nigerian foreign reserves increase to $36/624 million as at 15th of May 2023 from 36 million. The development comes amid the continued fall of the naira days against the dollar. A month ago, Nigerian foreign exchange reserves decreased to $36.7 million in February 2023, compared with $37 million in the previous month. Foreign exchange reserves, listen to this. Foreign exchange reserves, really sexy, good morning, are assets held on reserve by a monetary authority in foreign currency, which is in these. It influences the foreign exchange rate of its currency and maintain confidence in the financial markets. Let me explain it to the layman. I was even thinking it's more than that. Let me check. Let's see something. Amazon. Let me go and see how much Amazon is worth. Amazon. How much is it worth? Do you know that Amazon is an organization that delivers parcel around the world, not in the shit old country called Nigeria? Excuse me. Because Nigeria is not a country, but it operates in many countries across the globe. Amazon, as at 3 days ago, is worth 1377.97 billion US dollars. That is Amazon, an organization. Do you understand what I'm saying? Amazon is not a country. So even Amazon can set up a country of its own. Because if they can operate around the world properly with due diligence, that is their worth. How come a country like Nigeria is not worth more than Amazon? So yeah, Amazon lower to Nigeria law. Because I don't think Amazon is richer than America as a country, possible. So why then is Amazon having enough than Nigeria? Let's go back to the sustainable goal number 2, which we are still currently being held on, because that number 2 means a lot to many Nigerians this morning. End hunger. Tinubu will end hunger even if he gives you 8,000 naira from 30 million Nigerians in abject poverty. But Nigeria doesn't have that kind of money to disburse. Not that we don't have it, but if they attempt it, it will collapse more country quicker than expected. So many Nigerians do not know that Nigeria is collapsed. They can feel it, but in Tomanja Kofi, they still have the countries because they wake up and they still see the horn of the Okada, the horn of the downfall, the craziness, the government speaking, Elomia Lossi, the paper. But literally, you are worse off than 30 years ago, just like Venezuela. Venezuela has huge amount of crude oil, if not more than Nigeria, but they've been worse off more than 20 years back. So it has become survival to the fittest in the context of what is called Nigeria. Everybody's just trying to survive. It's just coming up to 5 a.m. Everyone is just trying to survive. Rafiu, good morning. Danilo Ide, good morning. Good morning, Omodami Larry, and the rest of you that have joined along the line. This is Koikimedia Live. As I continue to explain the reason why Nigeria is not going to work. The expectation of Nigerians is that Nigeria will be a great place. That was what my mom thought as well, until she realized that it was not worth it. That was what as many people thought, until we realized that it is not worth it. But many Nigerians are still thinking that it is worth it, and that is why you see them on the social media fighting the wrong fight, trying to say politics will solve the problem with a new political party, with this and that. But what they have not really told you is that it is not one country, it is the multiple of nations put together by the British in 1914. I know some of you don't like to hear that. You are thinking that it has nothing to do with the British anymore. Fair enough. But let's go back to where we were prior, before the 1914 amalgamation that locked the potential of so many of you, that have now kept you below par, that you cannot afford $2 Monday to Friday, 365 days in a year, that you cannot have the basic amenities of life. That takes me straight to number 3, which is the most important thing. We've seen that all the time. A lot of you go into asking for one support or the other, and it's not your fault. It's just that the country have not factored you more. Awonti or Borotoju. Don't blame yourself or your family or your friend from not coming to your aid. Some of you think that Toba sick, Toba Koikimedia, nobody responds here. That is not my job. I am not a country. I am not your government. the responsibility of your government is to make sure that the number 3, Timothy Soy, àwọn ni wọ́n wà in charge. Tí government yín ò bá ti lè take care yín to that extent of what it says to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. From the day one that you have been born in the society called Nigeria, what has been the health of your people within you, surrounding you? Ǹjẹ́ yàn kan fẹsẹ̀ gúngò nínú ilé, ẹgbẹ̀dẹ̀ hospital, or take care? Not that we don't have the experts, but the experts are now becoming stressed and they are moving out of Nigeria. Just like I told you about a surgeon from Ijebu tó ti wà ní UK, tó yẹ kó wà ní Nigeria, kó sanwó dáadáa fún, kó lè fún wa ní opportunity. Number 3 of the United Nations Development Goals says the Nigerian government must ensure healthy lives. Part of the healthy lives is that I don't expect to see anybody to fit to call your moral sita to bear to. That is not a healthy life. Somebody must be ready to discharge people. So I'm going to do another, hopefully we are going to talk about the programming. Emma Beresingo truck. That is the bin man. That is the job. There is to pick up this rubbish. Because the rubbish is about to be put in poor. It's shama for kakiri nule. It might cost the government more money. Láti tọ́jú health care watawa in the community. That is why somebody must be paid if they can do the job, and trained and given safety outfit. And their job is to come before 6 o'clock, pick up the rubbish, remove it away from the community. To this community would be in danger, whether modeni, agbalagbani. Our body immune is different. My body immune is different from ọmọ kókó tó ṣe bí. Tọ́mọ kókó tó ṣe bí bá wà ládùúgbò yìí, tí wọ́n bá kó ilẹ̀ àdúgbò yìí for the next 3 days, eṣinṣin tó bá bà wọnú ilé ọmọ kókó yẹn, tó bá bà lórí nǹkan kan tọ́mọ kókó yẹn bá lọ jẹ, ọmọ kókó yẹn lè kú. So this is the reason why health is not about odigba teba sick. We must prevent it. That is what I say. Prevention is better than cure. In your man preventing Nigeria is not preventing anything until it becomes a problem. You go to all our markets, you realize that Kojakowa in a state of Ibitowaye is because Kose sustainable development Kokonibe. We must understand that Konshe Odigba to ban accident and so I'm talking about the basic to the fact that ilete loni agbegbe ilẹ̀ tó wà nù lẹ́yìn nísìn tá a bá dànù latest by tomorrow for whatever reason tó bá máa fi dọ̀tún la ó ti di danger. That means pé a ti endanger life wa, not nítorí pé ìyá kan sásí mi, nítorí pé my stupidity as the father of this house should know that I should remove the bean so that our molomo, they will not be in danger. Good morning, Mr. Clement. Babatunde Ajayi, good morning. Good morning to those of you on the IG and those joining us on the TikTok. And likewise the Twitter. So the number 3 of these United Nations SDG goal is to say to your government, provide or ensure healthy lives and promote well-being. well-being. A lot of time you see people abroad, we look fresh, we look cool. It's the well-being. Does not really mean that we have everything that we want as well. But as long as you are not going over your coat, the reason why you have to go over your coat is that your well-being is that ilé tó bá gbà ní Nigeria lénìí, whether ní Ìkòyí, ní Banana Island, or ní slummy, you must make sure that it has a gate outside or burglary proof. These windows do not have any burglary proof. So you are already endangering your life, because each time I go to Nigeria, I get scared and worried that should anything happen, we've locked ourselves in this house to the extent that we are in prison. You might not even find the key, and you might end up dying with your own hand. Your well-being does not mean that you have to be rich. Your well-being is that while you are sleeping, there should be a security to take care of your community. And there should be a super head, which is the one that makes sure that by the time Tobafelosi Okola Roy, nobody kills you. Tobafelosi Oja, you do not get to be in danger, because Titi to Ekoshe, Tiwoshe, Toba Crosse Olijabo. I was watching a video on Twitter yesterday, and I was looking at the vehicles plying the road with a lot of water, and the people in those vehicles feel so comfortable. I have traveled in such condition as well in Nigeria. You probably just say, you know what, that is the only option you have. Your well-being will not be there in the next 4 years. It's not a cause. Let's go to number 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Number 4, ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote a lifelong learning. Learning is not university. Learning is just even a day training. I got to know that in UK, that you can do a 1-hour course and it's much more valuable than a university degree. And I give an example. If you're going to work in the healthcare sector or food industry, precisely, not healthcare, which I did for a very long time, health and safety is much more important than your university degree. Because still have a university degree when you don't have health and safety course. And the health and safety course is just a day course. Anyone can do it, or organization can send you to go and do it, which I did attend a lot. Sometimes I say, Mr. Koiki, you'll be going for a training, so you don't have to come to work tomorrow. Your training address is there, just go there, spend a whole day, enjoy it. We saw last year, Buhari locked down your university for 8 months. Does not mean it's over yet. In the history of Nigeria till date, you are not guaranteed, apart from maybe the private university now, you are not guaranteed that you complete your course in the 8 years or 4 years or the 3 years of the time to fellowship course here. So if you enroll into University of Lagos to study medicine, you will not complete that course in the actual timing. Even though we are meant to be saying that to baje sovereignty tiwa la wà. Yorùbá la máa fi máa kọ́ra wa ní ẹ̀kọ́, not the English. Because if you go to Chinese, or China rather, the China education sector is in Chinese. They are not using English. Gbogbo ìwé tó ń tà ní Turkey is not in English. Probably maybe few. But èyí tó máa fi kọ́ wọn ní school yàtọ̀ sí school tó bá jẹ́ international school. Then they will teach them English. But they will teach them in Turkish. And the books is written in Turkish language. So why then do we not want to have a similar pattern of the sovereignty of Yoruba country? Táwọn náà bá ní èdè tiwa la máa fi kọ́ra wa, from the primary to the secondary to the university to the tertiary to the workplace to the training. But nobody wants that. We want to have a Nigeria where English, that is a borrowed language that was forced on us to be used. But do you know that the same English country that I am presently living, you will need an English exam to arrive here as a student. As a student that study in English in Nigeria. Number 4, ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote a lifelong learning. Number 5, achieved gender equality and empower all women and girls. You can ask yourself whether this is happening in Nigeria or not. She won't empower you. I know there was a loan that Tinubu wants to get. Let me see if I can pull that out. It's to empower. It's a new loan that they are going to give Tinubu. Loan for women empowerment. Empowerment Fund Nigeria. Because that loan is for that particular purpose. Yeah, and I got it right. Maybe some of you don't know. I'll share this with you because sometimes when I speak, we speak with fact. This is meant to be part of the SDG goal. That is why Tinubu will be giving this loan. Whether Tinubu will use that loan, okay, I'm just picking Channels Television 12 hours ago. We'll come back to that. Femi Falana is saying that the 70 billion as a palliative is palliative of 110 billion for the NAS member is illegal, contemptuous. That's what they'll be saying all the time. You know, all these are our lawyers. They will just be talking. We expect somebody like them to say, you know what, this country is not working. It's not a sovereignty. But they're not going to say that because these are your elites within the society. So I want to say is the dissolution or the sovereignty of Yoruba nation is the best. He's doing very well, at least to his own capacity. I'm talking about Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria. We'll come back to him later. Let's focus on the SDG goal. So every day you see them come and talk on the TV. It's the same thing they've been saying anyway. Femi Falana has been saying this thing for the last 24 years of the corrupt country called Nigeria. And they all know that Nigeria is not going to work. You can say Afe Babalola, 60 years in the law firm, blah, blah, blah. How does that help Yoruba people? What difference does it make if he has spent 60 decades or 6 decades in the law firm? All these are the rhetorics. And one new opportunity to some extent, you will not get that same opportunity like Femi Falana. You will not get that same opportunity like Afe Babalola. But the same people are not going to do exactly what I'm doing because they will just be part of the analyst. Just like come out. Hey, can we get you on China's television today? Okay, no problem. What time? 6 o'clock. Okay, I look at my diary. Okay, I'll be available. And they will talk. They go. And the same is what is the same rhetoric is going on for 24 years, because the same thing that Falana has been saying for 24 years is still happening in Nigeria, but is relevant, while you are not relevant under the SDG goal. So let me share that with you again. So if you look at the link I've just shared, the number, Mukimamiwa Grace Senior JP, good morning and welcome to the live transmission. Ekarama Ajayi Matthew, good morning. So as in sọ̀rọ̀ nípa the sovereignty of Yoruba people out of what is called Nigeria. My name is Olami Koiki, and this is a Koikimedia. This is live transmission, 6 minutes past 5 a.m. It is the 17th of July 2023. Because we had a cut in transmission, I wouldn't have known exactly how much we've done so far. Mokiyami Omolara Iyabo Ajala, good morning. Alan Kondi, good morning. And once again, Adekunle Aliu, good morning. And the rest of you that have joined us. Opolopo might not understand that money are given to a country based on the SDG goal. And the one that I'm about to tell you right now is linked to we're talking about number 5. So this number 5 says achieved gender equality and empower all the women and girls. And I told you that I knew I saw the headline, even if I didn't read everything 3 weeks ago. Let me now read the headline and read a little bit, so that a little link, a little more SDG goal number 4, because fresh loan T often Tinubui is for that purpose. Okay, so don't think that you will have access to that money. Okay, maybe your wife, maybe your girlfriend. Good morning to those of you also on the TikTok. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma. So 3 weeks ago precisely, June 27, 2023, according to the channel's television, which I've posted on the timeline for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, World Bank approves a fresh, it's not free, okay? It's a loan. Whether your government use it purposely, faithfully, we have to pay back for the loan. They are not giving it to Nigeria for free. There's a percentage. These have now been added to the previous loan that Nigeria is owing, to the tune of almost $40 billion. That's what Nigeria is owing. It would take, did I say 40 billion? No, I think it's more than that. I was going to say, from estimate, it would take about 40 something years before we can even pay the loan. At the moment, we're just servicing the debt. Maybe you don't know what that means. Human service motorway. To ban the understanding the servicing of your vehicle. That's what we are doing. Interest dashing son in Nigeria. Tinubu cannot pay off the debt. No government can pay off the debt. Good morning, Mr. Lushola on the TikTok. So let's read further quickly anyway. The World Bank has approved a fresh $500 million loan for Nigeria. Good morning, Just Reason. World Bank said the scale-up financing will further support the government of Nigeria to invest in improving the livelihood of women in Nigeria. So this is linked to the SDG goal number 4. Achieve gender equality and empower all the women and girls. When you look at the $500 million, do you know that if you, any one of you watching me in Nigeria, plus those outside Nigeria, do you know that you can set up a company if Nigeria was truly working and you work for as a person, you can have that $500 million. I'm sure you know that. If truly Nigeria was meant to be for us, as we have been told. You can set up any company and it's worth 500 million, either through shares buying or through your own fund in whatever years you've been able to do the business. But the reason why you don't have such and you are not going to get such is because, again, the system that we all expect. Because I go back again to my mom. If my mom was doing what of $60,000 of business in the 80s, how much do you think I will be doing with her if the business was still continuity? We'll be talking about probably about $1 million, because if ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ bá lè máa ṣe business in 1980, I told you that my mom has been traveling before I was born in the 70s. But today, a lot of you are even just seeing this from the screen. Ẹlòmíì tí mo bówó ìṣeré gan lọ́wọ́, ṣe báwo ni dọ́là ṣe máa rí? Size yàtọ̀ sí náírà. When you look at it, you can see that this one is a little bit smaller, maybe almost the same. Let's see. Likely no, definitely not. Yàtọ̀ nìyẹn. So Nigeria ó tóbi jùlọ díẹ̀, ó kò tóbi gidi ni. So tó bá wo bí ṣe line ẹ̀, ṣorí pé ó ṣì ní space ní bíbá, space ní. So it is not how big, it is how we can transform from big to small and impact our lives. A lot of you think that your life will be impacted in that 500 million. You're joking. Just as you've had the one before. Work by loan. Nobody can tell because so the World Bank has approved a fresh $500 million loan for the federal government of Nigeria. For what reason? To help improve the livelihood of women in Nigeria. There's nothing wrong in that. But want to improve life in all I need. But is this government going to be genuinely, even if Tinubu has the genuine heart, for the purpose? This money will then be disbursed from local government to the state governor. I don't know how they're going to divide it. I don't know who is going to be in charge. But we know definitely that if snake doesn't swallow it, tortoise will move with the money. And this same money that is a loan end up in another country, and it becomes another money for them to use. While those of you that the government have borrowed the money on behalf do not have access to the money, but every Nigerian must pay back the loan. Do you know that we all have to pay for all this loan? It's not a gift. I don't think some of you understand the danger we are in. You might think that we are joking, that it's not going to happen. The country is already in inflation already. But if you feel it, it's a matter of time. You will all feel it. And by the time you all feel it, you'll be asking questions, and there will not be anybody to answer. Number 6, very, very important. I'm sure you know the importance of this. Every water in Nigeria can be brought to a situation to be cleanable for drinking. It doesn't matter how dirty the water is. The technology is there now. What if in Koikimedia, within 1 hour you can drink that water? The technology is there. So the number 6 Good morning once again to Mace Gold, Just Reason, and the rest of you that have joined. Waris, thank you so much. These water, omi ṣefela lóko, omi water, kò sẹ́ni tó lè bá ṣe, kò sẹ́ni tó lè bá yan bá omi ṣọ̀tá. Also, if you don't drink these, maximum, I don't know how long, your body intake. If these does not flow in your body, I don't know, I am not into health, but I know that tó bá máa fi dé stage after 7 days, tó bá ń gbààwẹ̀ gan, tó mọ mi, tó di 40 days, tó mọ mi, wọ́n á fi di 60 days, wọ́n máa pass omi ẹ̀ sára ẹni, omi ọlọ́tà, omi tẹ́ ń wò yìí is the number 6 of the SDG goal. Ensure. The word ensure means wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀. It does not matter how. Tó bá ti ń gbọ́ ensure, ENSURE, ensure access to water and sanitation for all. My question this morning is, in 24 years of democracy in Nigeria, can you, don't tell me, you, in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, can you say that water is accessible for everybody? I'm not talking about even in Southwest. Let me even add the remaining part of Nigeria. Show me what accessible. Are you sure that the water that you are taking every day is clean? Or you are just like, go back from any cholera, go back from any diarrhea. Some of us eat in mama put. I do as well. I love it. I'm on fi sóúnjẹ tó bá ṣáà ti jẹ àmọ́ àwọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́ ni. Ìyẹn lè ṣe máa ń dákà jẹ nílé. Whether genuinely those food are just sweet or because of our own mentality of bí àwọn ti fi nǹkan kan sí tó fi ń fa èrò. We've seen all these. We know. Mọ̀mọ́ yẹn lẹ́yìn ní Jenny Thomas. Bí a kọ̀ jẹ́ ìyá tó ń ṣe yẹn, ó mọ̀ wẹ̀ dáadáa. But nígbà tí àwọn yẹn kú tán, àwọn ọmọ ọmọ wẹ̀ wọ́n ti wọ́n bí kan, wọ́n fún wọn ní kankan, wọ́n fi ń fẹ́ èrò. I don't know. Bí a rice ten ra ní Kẹjà tó máa ràn sí yín lójú tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀tọ̀. But we've seen a lot of that, some are genuine while some are not. But let's just put it for argument's sake that it's genuine. Do you know that the water that they are preparing those food from, they are not clean? But who cares? Let's just eat and walk out. By the time you eat and walk out, you go back to number 3. Ensure healthy lives. You are not having a healthy life because buka tiko clean. Oti jendomi, what it did o gbádùn ó dùn lẹ́nu nígbà tó ń jẹ yẹn, but ó máa fún ẹ ní problem ní number 3. Health of your life will not be taken care by the government. And I'll give you an example. In tó bá ti mú ẹ sọ pé o fẹ́ ṣe oúnjẹ nílùú o fẹ́ máa tà, that means pé you now have the duty of care. These programs end at exactly 6 o'clock, if not a little bit less than that. Anyway, I'll try and move a little bit swiftly so that we can finish this SDG goal. Do you know that selling a food in this country, your responsibility becomes triple because of the intake of an automatic. You are not expected to serve food in the United Kingdom where the environment, the water, the staff, everything that will give the hygiene of the facility must be put in place. Training of the staff. How many of our imitated Lonja Loni food and hygiene certificate? Abaka no necessary. How many of them have a good toilet? Teba Jaunton. Teba want toilet more. Show up to the standard. These are a lot. Nile Yoruba. So you can see where there will be no development. Whether you eat even in a restaurant or you eat in mama puts. Àbí tí wọ́n gbé wá sádùúgbò yín tó kiri wá tó kọ̀rántí ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ or more preparation it could become endanger to your life. These are all the reasons. So that on Yoruba Nation, reasons that if you go by Yoruba Nation, they are thinking that is about Fulani don't power nìkan. No. Mama put on payin lójoojúmọ́, but mo. Ìyàtọ̀ tá kò ṣe ń rí ti Fulani ni pé on wá sórí screen. But do you know how many people have died of food poison in Nigeria or in the southwest for the negligence of things that should have been resolved by the local government? The job of the local government òun ni pé kó sọ fún yín pé ibi báyìí àti sọ fún wọn pé oṣù kan la fún wọn tó ọba ti ṣe ń ta fẹ́ kó ṣe a máa ti pa finally. But development until this stage yẹn àmàlà tó lọ ń rà nìbàdàn torí ẹ láìkì àmàlà gan omi wo ló mọ̀ tó fi ń ṣe ṣómi kànga ni àbí omi ẹ̀rọ tí kò clean, because we know that the public water is no longer functioning as it used to be in the 70s and 60s. Let's move to the next one. Number 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Tinubu is talking about a new law to be passed. Again, it's something I picked up. So let's talk about. I know I might not understand how it is put, but by the time I Google it, it will help me. Electricity. Good morning once again. Electricity. Yeah. Electricity. There's a law that Tinubu just signed as a presidential whatever electricity law. Let me just put it that way and type Nigeria, and then something will pop up. Yeah. On the 19th of June 2023, there's what I call 6 things to know about the new electricity law. And this again will link to number 7 of the SDG goal. Let me first read what I have here, then I'll open the business day and I'll talk about it briefly. The Act requires electricity generating firms to create power from renewable energy sources, purchase power generated from renewable energy, or purchase any instrument representing renewable energy generation. In addition, the Act requires distribution or supply licenses to meet renewable purchase obligation. So let's go now and read a little bit further. According to this day, 6 things to know about the new electricity law. Abubakar Ibrahim, June 19, 2023. I'm going to be very, very swift. President Bola Tinubu have signed the Electricity Bill 2021, converting it into an act of the National Assembly of Nigeria on June 9, 2023. What does it mean? for a layman like you that is asking, kí ló dé tí mo níná? Kí ló dé tí wọ́n níná nílùú kan táwọn níná? Kí ló dé tí Benin Republic need 24 hours electricity, even though it is very high cost? Electricity is not cheap, not even here in UK. Cost of living has gone up, but it is there, it is available. But you have to also think about whether you can become part of those that want to have solar. I was listening to, again, in Baba Rupori yesterday. We have a lot of engineers in Nigeria. Most of you call yourself engineer, but you're not building solar panel. Rather, you want to export it from China, India, countries that are producing them in vast, and then you bring them down for the Igbos that can afford to bring them in large quantity, and then they start selling them to you, or the Yorubas that can afford it. But we know that the Igbos are bringing huge amount of such, or probably maybe people like other big player that brings this solar panel. Whether they are substandard is a different thing, whether they are standard is a different thing. But why do we have all these university engineers? Is because, again, Nigeria do not have the capacity. We don't have the industry to build it, because you can't just say I will build a solar panel when you don't have the industry. You must have, the industry or industries, scattered across the country, where you can say, oh, okay, your final year as an engineer, go to Koikimedia industry where it produces solar panel, and work with them for 1 year. Let them know how you can make things much more cheaper. And I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So a lot of you today, you wake up, your phone is going very flat. Then you have to go to the next door neighbor and say, "Eba, me charge phone in 2023." Or you end up buy power bank. I have power bank as well, but I only use it when I'm outside. And I'll show you my power bank. I will never use it in the house, because this is my own power bank as a journalist, so that when I'm outside, I can guarantee that even if my phone goes low after a few hours and I can't get to McDonald's and recharge, Mukia Aziz, because I can go out and my phone is running dead. I can either charge on the public transport, some of them have the access, or I can easily just go to any shop like the McDonald's, KFC. I don't have to buy anything. I'll just sit and I'll recharge my phone. And if I don't want to do that, that means I have these powerful power banks, 2 of them. I have the smaller one and I have the big one, and this will recruit me. This is the renewable. My iPhone that I use, it might be on TikTok, it automatically have a built-in power pack which I use with it. So this iPhone is also built in. I just bought this, not recently. So it allows me to also have extra power. That is part of the technology that we have today. So the question then is, we hear Nigerian professor speaking grammar, but they cannot build a single power bank. What is the essence of this? Is because Nigeria is not prepared for you. So let's move swiftly. The Electricity Act of 2023 aims to factor in and harmonize all the legislation in Nigeria electricity supply industry, as well as to establish a strong institutional framework to oversee the Nigerian electricity supply industry post privatization operations while promoting private sector investment sector. The state power over electricity, the national demonopolization of electricity generation, transmission, and distribution in Nigeria empowers the state, businesses, individuals to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity. State can award licenses to private investors to operate what they call mini grid and power plant within their borders in Ijebu-Ode, in Sango, in Ilaro, in Ekiti, in Ondo, in Osun, in Ibadan. So that means that what they're saying is that Molilomo investors are what to change the Electricity Act, you know. And we start doing consultation. You may see conference, be seminar that has to do with electricity. Then I'll convince them, let's just go and invest a small grid. But one thing some of you don't understand is that by the time power change again, all this can be stopped. All these, as good as you might think, can be stopped. I'm not going to waste too much of my energy on that, but I'm just giving you an idea of what it means. Or, let me put it this way. Even if it's not stopped, we know that the politics in Nigeria means that it's bitter. Èmi á lọ mú investor wá nísìn pé àwọn tó wà ní Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde ìyà ń jẹ wọ́n gan wọn níná. Màá convince investor, and okay, Koiki, are you sure? Yeah. All right, let's go and invest. Àwọn á gbowó wọn wá, I don't know, $10 million or whatever. Àwa lọ sọ́dọ̀ Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún. Màá sọ fún Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún pé àkọ́kọ́ fi gba commission tiẹ̀. We know that they are all criminals anyway. And come out worry for commission. Maybe we saw it with Ganduje Babariga. We will now set up this small grid. Ìwọ tó ń gbé ní Ìjẹ̀bú, wàá máa sanwó fèmí àti investor. I ma provide enough for him. Do you know that ìjọ tí Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún bá ti kúrò níbẹ̀ tọ́nà that governor bá dé, gbogbo wàhálà tí a ṣe yẹn, they can cancel it. That has been the problem in Nigeria. So as good as it is, like, this is why they are concerned about state police, because state police means that governor ló máa ní ọlọ́pàá yẹn, ètò báwọn ló lè fi ṣe. So we have had a situation in a country, yẹn láti sọ pé tábà ní sovereignty tiwa, all this is not going to happen. Òfin tábà ti fi sílẹ̀ náà ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Gbogbo òfin tí Tinubu ń ṣe nísìn is just for 4 years. After 4 years, the new government will be crazy and they will do their own thing, and that becomes like every 4 years the next person comes. Even if it's on the state level, we are seeing that play out at the moment, maybe not in the southwest. And the reason why Tiko Tishele in the southwest is because Washington play monopoly in the southwest, apart from Oyo State. Oyo State nìkan ni ó wà láàrin àwọn governors tó kù, because it's a PDP state. Assuming pé ìjọ tí PDP bá gba Lagos mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́, if we are still in Nigeria, what do you think is going to happen? Why do you think they don't want PDP to get there? Because wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kí monopoly tó ń play lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kó change. Ìjọ tó bá change, why do you think people don't want Peter Obi to win Lagos State? Because the Omok would definitely, apart from people are saying that there's another hidden agenda, all that is just fabu. Everybody knows that even as someone who is there is as corrupt as anything else. But they're not going to tell you they are corrupt. But if government change, as we have seen it in the north, we see what is playing out in Kano. Ganduje lost. Anything Ganduje fi síbẹ̀ òun kọ́ ló wà níbẹ̀. So they lost. Imagine now, gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń rí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kano, Sokoto, àti Benue. Let me use those 3 states. Tó bá yẹ pé power sector náà nísìn ni investor kan dé síbẹ̀ tí Ganduje lọ mú wá, do you think that the new governor will continue with that project? Start thinking like that. Koikimedia Southwest is because àwa ṣì ń play these affair on politicians. I mean, okay, power change hand as well in Osun State. So we now have Adeleke as the governor. Ìyẹn kàn jókòó kiri ni, own praise and worship. I don't see what he's doing. All I see is that every day he's dancing, he's praising and worship, while Osun people are living in abject poverty. That is all I can say, because all I see all the time with him and Dele Momodu is that they're just dancing, praise and worship, praise and worship. I don't even think he lives in the state. I think he spent more time in a hotel and Lagos than Osun State. This governor should not leave their state for any reason. State in Wagba, live there, work there, and do as much to build a society, an environment, SDG goals that can save our people. But so when power change, especially in Lagos State, what do you think is going to happen? It breaks that monopoly. That is why they would die from not letting Lagos to go out of the vicinity of those that are in charge. Because till Lagos by losing that, it breaks that monopoly. So that is about it for the sustainable goal on that. Because I only have a few more minutes to go. The next one is number 8. Promote inclusive, sustainable economic growth, employment. You can say that as smile, and decent work for all. The average Nigeria, I'm asking those of you, if you're listening right now, or those of you that will watch it later, the average Nigeria, I mean, just put it there in the comment section. The average Nigeria, what is the basic? I'm not talking about trying to find a job in Dangote. You're not going to get a job. Trying to find a job in Tony Lemelu, UBA, you're not going to get it. In First Bank, getting the basic job, then tell me. Because according to number 8 SDG, it says that your government must provide and promote inclusive, sustainable economic growth. Kill me by economic growth. That one is dead, gone already. There's nothing called economic growth in Nigeria. Toban drew the economic growth of Nigeria. My mom also waited for the economic growth of Nigeria. Imagine from 1980 up to 1990. That was 10 years. At 1991, my mom decided it was time for her to leave. Imagine somebody that has been operating with $100,000, $160,000. My mom lost $20,000 in UK in the 80s. Traveler check. But the last order she did was $60,000, like I said. But I'm asking those of you today now, Nigerians, whether you're a businesswoman, I know a lot of you are hardworking. You're trying, to survive. Genuinely, I'm not talking about the criminal ones among you that wants to kill and do 419 and scam people. But the average layman, killing the basic job that you're doing. Do you think that the economy, some of you don't need dollar to operate anyway, so as long as you don't have to do any business that involves dollar. I've given you a kind of what it's going to cost you. To Buffett send the wallet to Nigeria was in UK. 1,065. To buy a bofera Koiki, Mori Kokonori, company con in UK. Whatever it is, and you want to buy from here, Show me pé naira ni wọ́n fi operate. This naira, I'm not talking from the economic growth, because even China, let's say China economy growth. China economy has grown by 6.3%. China economy grew a lower than expected, and this is just by ABC News, by 6.3% in the second quarter as the COVID recovery slowed. And this was put together by the ABC News. I can share that with you again, so that in case, Adekunle Ramon, good morning to you. We're just about 20 minutes. If I don't finish this, I will come back and do the rest some other time, because at 6 o'clock we're going to end the program. So I just want to share that with you. Trash collectors make a fortune and good wages. Yes, I know that, because I used to have a license that allows me to collect such in UK when I was having my shop some 10 years ago. So let me quickly read this. According to the ABC News, China has reported its economy grew at a 6.3% annual pace in the second quarter. Let's look at Nigeria economy, because the Nigerian economy growth, you want me to read it out? Oh boy, I pity those of you at home. I don't think some of you understand the danger you are in on it. I'm going to share that on the comment section, and I'll put that out on my Facebook as well. Some of you will cry. Jesus is not going to help you. So if you're waiting for Jesus to help you, or Anabi Muhammad or our tradition, you're bloody wasting your time. I'm also going to post it on my Facebook channel. Mori Yawafunke Alaje, thank you so much. I just spotted you right now. So we're just 15 minutes before the end of the program. I know it's about 12 midnight in America, Canada. Nigeria is the same time with me. So on my timeline, and I'll put that as well on Twitter. So, and I'll read it out in a minute. So I'm just posting it now, so that in case anybody access Lati. So let's post that out. We're still on the SDG goals for Nigeria. So if you think that the new government will change anything, Yemi Fatoke Mukibubu Igarawo in Lagos Island, Intajamuki Mokibubu 191 local government in Yoruba land. Moki Musulumi, Moki Christian. Happy New Week. Ajagbewa as we start in Ajo. But with the economic situation in Nigeria, I can only still say Ajagbewa. But I know that is just a norm to say. But in reality, some of you are waking up, don't have 1,000 naira in your pocket. Even those of you that are watching us, I can only just say, I don't know how you make it. I know you want to keep up, but it's just too expensive. So let me move swiftly, because of the time. I think I should post it on the Twitter as well, so that remember to have a Twitter account. Very, very important. There's a lot of engagement going on there. Mukiyawa Wura _ Yoruba Nimi. She's always posting every blessed day. Hashtag Yoruba Lives Matter. Hashtag Yoruba Nation. Thank you so much, those of you on the TikTok as well. Once again, my name is Olami Koiki. One out of the so many Yoruba people that believe our sovereignty is the right thing now, and that is the reason why we are saying we want to be out of Nigeria. So let's come back now quickly to Nigerian economy. According to the real GDP growth, has literally fallen to 3.3% in 2022. Could rise on 4, and the reason for that is this is becoming strain on strain. I don't want to stop this one. I only have one, so I'm trying to save it for my presentation all the time. So this money becomes devalued because kò ní any production tó ń ṣe tàǹtà síta tó ń fún wa lélẹ̀ padà. So it is the diaspora money that is coming back, which is about 40 billion or thereabout, if not a little bit less. Gbogbo diaspora tó wà káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé, we are sending this money home, whether it is the dollar or whether it is the pounds, it does not matter. So when we send this home, it's helping the Nigerian government, apart from the revenue from the crude oil, the revenue from the taxes from different corporate organizations that are operating in the fraudulent country called Nigeria. So in 2022, the growth ditch, kí ló ń pè ní growth, ìdàgbàsókè, kí nǹkan máa wá sókè, kàkà kó wá sókè, ó ń lọlẹ̀ sí ni. So the longer tí Nigeria bá ń lọlẹ̀, ó ń affect me, ó ń affect ìwọ, and everything I'm saying is also affecting me as somebody outside the territory, because I got a call from my family yesterday. One of the more, I mean, when I say my family, I have a lot of family, so not literally one. Mommy, you know, because that's what I told them. Anytime they bring their electricity bill, they should let me know. From 7,500, somewhere around, you know, Ogun State. I don't want to go too much in details. Not literally that I give them electricity, which is under the SDG goal number 7, but one mobile wa fún ọmọ mi ọtí mobile wa èlò ni mọ́mì 7,500 ọlọ́run àpèsè tó bá dá àárín ọ̀sẹ̀ àsẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ sí yín. Does not mean that they give her electricity anyway, but they keep bringing the bill. 7,500 is a lot of money for many Nigerians. As at last month, it was 67,000. Wow. Show wo noni here. Eba me, if you comment and say that again. Thank you so much on the TikTok. So, now, reading further, from 3.6%. So, even in 2021, the economic growth in Nigeria, these are the reasons why we are asking for Yoruba nation. Not because Fulani power. Can you come up with Fulani power? Fulani don't power, and we can deal with them when we have our own sovereignty. But people don't want us to deal with them by remaining in Nigeria where the economic growth is ditching. In 2021, when I came to Nigeria, the economic growth was 3.6%. Even tí kò bá tẹ̀ wá lọ sí òkè, tìbẹ́ yẹ kó ṣì wà níbi tó wà yẹn. A lot of us were praying that this money will not reach 1,000. Ó tẹ̀ ti kọjá 1,000 nísìn. The economic growth in Nigeria in 2021 was 3.6%. In 2022 last year, or half by 3%, or lọ sí 3.3%. Precipitated mainly by a decline in oil production, which is the only major revenue in Nigeria. Epo iná onisha, epo ini. When you, as a Nigerian, you are the brain that should provide money for the country, but they must first provide the enabling environment. That is the amount that was given to a house in Lagos, Eshegoni. A house in Lagos got 67,000 naira NEPA bill. Èló ni wọ́n gbà ní salary. Do you know that about 67,000 a month in Nigeria is a lot? Thank you so much, those of you on the TikTok. Some of you that keep abusing me because my views about Nigeria is not the kind of views you want to hear. You want me to be like, you know, I don't want to mention, you know, my friend because it looks like I'm putting him on the spot, but I'm sure you know the one on the, you know, channels. You want me to be like him. Just brings people, we talk about Nigeria, okay, and then we go. Then I dress in suits. Then I sit down in the studio. You know, then I talk. That's what you want. I don't want to talk like that. That country is dead. Koshi revive. The game that they are playing is just to keep your mind away from the reality. Even àwọn tó fẹ́ lọ wo Titanic, the submersible, ó padà sank náà ni. Titanic cannot be brought back up. Maybe for now, because it need that kind of technology. They visited the place so many times, but they can't bring it back up. Just as so many Oyinbo people will continue to visit Nigeria, I'm talking about foreigners, they will tell you all kind of things that they can do in Nigeria to make it survive. But globally, the projection is that the country is dead. And I'll give an example. You see the America will say, we are doing some project in Anambra State, sustainable this, sustainable that, this, that. China will say the same thing. You know, you see all these embassies. I'm sure some of you rapport with them. You know, you see them on the news. They are doing their little bit. But because each time I go into the OEC, that gives us the total import. If we stopped importation of American bringing vehicle to Nigeria, it would affect the Americans or the American government. How many people knows that? Tabas of America, no more importation of your vehicle into Nigeria. Do you know how much revenue they're going to lose? If we tell countries around the world that we're not importing your cars, but your politicians don't want that. They're not going to buy the local vehicle. They prefer the Toyota. They prefer the vehicles from outside. The Obokoloye, the bulletproof. This is what is going to make our economy to grow. Maybe you don't know that. For every time Tiboban send the was in Nigeria, I am also not helping the country. For every time that I decide that I am sending anything to sell in Nigeria, I am not helping the country. Lotto, I can make money out of it, but literally I am not helping you, including myself. Because I, as a media person, as an example, we should be able to employ people in Nigeria for production, not for me to buy the finished goods and send it to Nigeria to sell, whether it's a brand new, whether it's the second hand. So, going back quickly, this led to the 5% shrinkage, SHRINKAGE, in the overall industry. Let me read that again. In 2021, we had 3.6% growth. Tó bá tẹ̀jẹ́ pé wọ́n jẹ́ kó lọ́lẹ̀ kó wà ní 3.6. Nígbà tó máa di 2022 last year, growth gbogbo Nigeria pátápátá, the whole populous black nation, the brain people power of the Africa, the this, that, the growth kò lọ sókè. Because why? Produce anything. Nobody factored the reality that a country that is not producing, the strain on this, that means that Lano, I made inquiries, Tibafe send the 200,000 wasi UK, Eluloma for me, at 1,070, you will receive 187 pounds. Tibafe Dapada against in Nigeria, it will be 199,000 at 165. That means pay on ton share one jerry for 5 naira. It's not helping the country. So for years, you're right, Jerry, on TikTok, the government knew that the only way we can push Nigerians to be productive is to have factories, cluster of factories everywhere across the country. In the last 24 years, in the last 63 years of democracy. But the military preferred to allow the West to dump all their produce into Nigeria. Go to Apapa and see the amount of ship that are landing every day with finished goods. Tite con sardine. when Ondo State, Ijaw people, that we are told that fishing is their business. They can pull out the fish, we can turn it into sardine, we can package it, sell it out. It gives the strength of the naira bigger. But rather, everybody wants to eat the sardine from Europe. Do you know that the panla that the Yoruba people eat a lot is from Norway? Maybe you don't know that. Panla tenje lojojumo ton fi sinu mama put to tilon jẹun yẹn. You are also not helping, because panla ton jẹ yẹn kò ṣe no Nigeria ló tin ṣe. Panla ton jẹ yẹn Norway ló tin gbé bọ̀. It travels far. So this is the reason why the economy is not growing. So this led to the 5% shrinkage in the overall industry, which was the offset by expansion in the services to 7% and agriculture to 2%. Now let's quickly look at the news. Routers. If you don't know what is router, R-E-U-T-E-R-S. When you read anything from Routers, it's confirmed. Routers, they call them Routers at the AFP. May 24, Nigeria GDP growth slows. S-O-S-L-O-W-S. Oh my boy, to ba wà nínú traffic. Kí ló fa traffic yìí bá on Monday? Àwọn kan tó wà nínú traffic báyìí ní Bega, Ọ̀tẹ̀dọ́là, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Benin Ọ̀rẹ́, traffic oríṣiríṣi is because kò sí good road. Tá bá ṣe software later during the day. China just launched. I posted it yesterday. I don't know whether I did on the Twitter, but I did post it on Facebook. China just launched the fastest bullet train in the world. What should she testing a land on it? Well, I watched it yesterday. I don't know whether it was yesterday that they launched it. The fastest bullet train was launched by China. I've downloaded a video. I will share it with us during the software program. We will not go further than this. So we've stopped at number 8. So that my little that might be SDG goals. And this is related to our Ekiti State. We continue with Ekiti State from this week again. I've linked it to all Nigerians, to all the 36 states, including the FCT, but most importantly, Fenyamo Ekiti. According to Routers, which is going to be my last from these. Yeah, China launched the fastest bullet train. America Otini. Nino fastest train here, Oktuba Betonel Koja, Abetonel Apata. Let me see the speed. I posted it yesterday. You can talk Routers, and then I'll end the program because it's exactly 6 o'clock. And I don't want to go too much further than that. My name is Olami Koiki. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. As I continue to use my platform to educate as many of you on reason why the Yoruba sovereignty is now, I've got it right here. The fastest train in the world was tested in China. The maximum speed of the CR450 train was 453 kilometers per hour. Engineers noted that during the actual operation, the speed will be reduced to about 400 kilometers per hour once in service. The CR450 will be the world's fastest bullet train, taking around 2.5 hours to travel between Beijing and Shanghai, almost twice as fast as it is now. I pity a lot of you. Mokimomi Wabalanle Babatunde. ẹ má ká parọ́ mọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ọlọ́run ti fún wa ní brain power, Ọlọ́run ti fún wa ní ìmọ̀. Ọlọ́run máa ṣe yẹn is just the rhetorics. Our politicians are the cause of the reason why we are still where we are today. We stop them, we get a Yoruba sovereignty. We don't stop them, ẹ̀kan parọ́ mọ́ Ọlọ́run ni. Ọlọ́run sọ̀kalẹ̀ wá anywhere. We have the resources, we have the brain power, we have the... Mo sọ fún yín pé ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú kan wà ní UK tọ́nú ṣẹ̀dẹ̀ tó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ when it comes to surgeon. Wọ́n náà máa ń búkẹ̀ láti inú ilé ẹ̀ ni. Bó dé UK ní Sotirale is from, well, yeah, Ogun State. Ìjẹ̀bú náà lọ pé. Àná ọlọ́ṣẹ̀ sọ lè fẹ́ mi. But mo ní sọ bí tó wà ní UK in terms of location wise for his own safety. That is the brain power that left Southwest to make living here and help humanity. The fastest train in the world is now in operation. Imagine how many engineers put that structure together. America Otini is the fastest bullet train. Over 2 times faster than Itowa and Betelelo. It will only take now 2.5 hours to travel between Beijing and Shanghai. So, Tiba Fishe meeting in Shanghai, Timodewa ni Beijing, I'll just buy the ticket. Boom, 2.5 hours. I'll be midebe, Mashe meeting Matupada. And this is what we are saying to our people based on the topic this morning. As I wrap it up from the last part of the router. Abuja, May 24, router, Nigeria annual economic growth rate is no longer even 3.3% like I told you. Otutu drops to 2.3. Last year was 3.3. 2021 was 3.6. It is now 2.3 in the first quarter. Tobani quarter, that's the first 6 months. Oh, no, the first 3 months. Yeah, quarter, yeah. January, February, March. IT day, the end of the year, the Nigerian economy has become 2.3% slower. Oh, by investor West in Nigeria, you will not get the returns because the money has been devalued. You can secure things there just to keep you going. But every money that you have now is being stressed out. In the first quarter, data show on Wednesday, hot by a government plan to swap the old banknote for the newly designed ones that disrupted the trade and payment. The GDP data came hours before the central bank interest rate announcement and next week's swearing in of Tinubu, which he has now spent 43 or 44 days. They keep saying it's the Africa's largest economy, which in the nutshell is because the gigantic view from outside. But in reality, it is the African biggest economy, but it doesn't provide food for the Africa people like you. So what is the essence of this largest economy that cannot provide food for its people? My name is Olami Koiki. Have a very good morning, and I'll be back whenever I see you again. Shalom.